Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we will be creating Nanite Foliage from scratch using the new features of Procedural Vegetation Editor in Unreal Engine 5.8 Preview build. We will be using some reference images to get our basic shape, but we will not be doing a 100% copy of these reference images. The idea here is to demonstrate the capabilities of the new Procedural Vegetation Editor and to get fairly close to these reference image shapes. You will see how easily we can create the natural looking trees using the new features in the Procedural Vegetation Editor. Towards the end of tutorial, we will be exporting the trees using them with the Nanite Print and the PCG volume. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is to make sure that you have the Procedural Vegetation Editor plugin enabled in your project settings. So just make sure that, and after that, we can go to content browser and search for the procedural vegetation asset and create the new one. And we are going to open it. So we'll start with the grow node. So this is a new node that is used to grow the plant from scratch. So as you see, when I add the grow node, there's just one tiny branch. So I'll come back to this later. So after that, we can basically mesh this branch using the mesh builder node. And as you can see, by adding this node, I get the mesh for the branch. So I'll just increase the cycles. So I get the basic shape tree from the grow node, and from the mesher node, I will get the mesh for the tree. So once we have some basic shape and we have the mesh, then we can add the foliage distributor through the foliage distributor node. So this node requires another input, and that will come from the foliage palette node. So we'll add that and connect its output to the foliage pin. We also need to add a mesh, and for the mesh, we can use the MegaPlants. So I'm going to use the SPN one. So where it is there it is. So yeah. So from the instance, I'm just going to pick the first one, drop it here, and if I look at the foliage distributor output, now you see that I have the foliage on my tree. So at this stage, I have the basic shape defined through the code node. I have the mesh through the mesh builder node and the foliage distributed over my tree through the foliage distributor node. So one thing is missing, that's the material. So I'm going to apply the material and I'm going to show you a small trick for that. So we can use the mega plants material for this, and but you will see there is a problem with this material that it's choosing the trim sheet, and for that we need to fix it. So if you go close to it and see, like, there are two textures. So this is because the mega plants material is using a trim sheet texture. So we need to provide the X range for this. To get the correct X range, we can open the SPN asset, click on the mesh builder, and we will just copy the values from there. As we cannot predict those values, so we need to put exactly the same values in there. So we'll just copy and paste the values from there, both the min and the max values. So as you will see that when I copy and paste those values, I get the material correctly applied. So you can see that now it looks very nice, and material is correctly applied across all the generations. But one thing we can do is we can also give different generation different materials. For that, what we can do is we can basically copy the values from the next generation, and for that we have to first add another entry to the array, materials array. So we're just going to do that. So now we have two entries in the material array. We will just copy the same material in the material slot here, and we need to copy the min max values from the second entry of the materials in the spin asset. So I'm going to do that, and you'll see that now we start getting a different material for our next branch. So I'll just need to copy the maximum value from there. So now you can see that we have a different material for texture for our second generation. So this way we can add as many materials or textures we want. So with the material done and the foliage done through the palette, so we have almost all the setup that is required to create a complete tree. Okay, so with that we can move to the grower and discuss the properties that we need to change to get our desired shape. So the first one is the phyllotaxy. So phyllotaxy is the arrangement of the branches, and we have different options for that, and we can also change the angle between the branches. The second one is the axial setting. So axial setting is basically the segment length, the distance between the 2 points. That is controlled by this setting. So 1 meter means the distance between the 2 points will be 1 meter. And the next one is the lateral setting. The lateral setting controls the thickness of the trunk. As you can see when you switch to the mesh builder node, you can see the thickness of the plant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the viewport by pressing the Control L. And now if I tweak, you will see the results of this property. So it controls the thickness of the trunk and the branches. Then we have the plant length. So if I increase the cycles, the plant length controls the target length of the plant. So with the 5 plant length, the plant uh, will grow to the maximum of 5 meters. With the 10, it will try to grow to the 10 meters. So in order to get the shape that we require, an important thing is to limit the length of the branch. For that, we have the branch length control here. So as you see, if I set it to 2, the branches will grow longer. And if I set it to zero point 0.5, the branches will never grow above the zero point 0.5 meters. So no matter how many cycle I increase, the branch length is limited to what I set in the branch length. So it is a very nice control to actually control the shape of the canopy. The other thing that we will require to achieve our desired shape is to control where the branches should spawn. For that, we have this auxiliary priority gradient graph. So its time value correspond to the length of the trunk. So if I drag this slider, it means that the branches will spawn higher uh, in the trunk value. So as we drag it close to the zero, you will see the branches get closer. So we can increase the priority at zero, so we get the branches at the base of the trunk. And if the priority is reduced to zero, the branches disappear from the base of the trunk. So this is how this gradient help us achieve the shape we want, as you see in the reference picture. So we already are started to get the similar shape from what we have in our reference image. So Um, I can increase a bit of foliage using the foliage instance spacing. So now it looks a bit more similar than we have. So what we can do is we can use a single grower to achieve this shape, but I'm going to show you another technique for better control of the shape of the plant. So you see I've added another grower node. I will use this grower node to grow the trunk first, and then I will control the branches using the other grower. So I will limit the max generations to one. So I just only see the trunk as you see here. And I'm going to increase the plant length and the cycles. So I get the basic trunk growth. Then I'm going to connect the two growers together, and the output of the final grower goes to the mesh builder. Now you see that I have a better looking trunk and I have the branches. The branches look a bit small on this tree, but I think the trunk looks okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to um, decrease the radius of this trunk a bit. I'm going to make it a bit thinner, and yeah, I think I'm just tweaking the value. Yeah, so this looks a bit better. The other thing is the branch length. So we need probably a bit longer branches for these kind of trees. So yeah, 0.75 is a good value for that. We're just going to tweak the foliage or the branches a bit in this case. So I think the branches are not very dense in this situation. So I'm just tweaking the shape a bit and maybe just tweaking the gravity. Yeah, I see now they're more bent, and increase the branch break threshold because when the gravity is activated or uh, it sort of tend to break the branches also. That's how it works in this grower. Then through the phototropism, we can elevate the branches a bit towards the light, maybe. Yeah. So overall, now this looks much better. Mm, so just I think yeah, the shape from the upper part, from the top of it, now looks much better. So these are the few controls that we can tweak, and you see there. So there's a tiny issue, like you see the branches are very thick and the foliage is a bit thin. So we can match them using the min radius in the mesh builder node. So I'm just going to increase and match the radius of the branch tip and the foliage here. So we don't get the weird looking connections between the tip of the branches and the foliage. So this is a nice trick to actually merge the foliage with the tip of the branches. So now this looks fair bit of merged, and we can see other branches also. And you see all the tips of the branches, they merge perfectly together. So what I'm going to do now, I think the this shape looks quite similar to the first time reference image. So I'll just copy it and paste it the two to create our second reference image. So for this, we just need to create the empty space in our trunk. The rest of the things are pretty much already there. So I'm just tweaking the auxiliary priority gradient, and I will just create the empty space in the graph by lowering the priority values in the middle of the graph. So what I will do is just make some values in the middle of the graph go to 0. So you will see no branches spawning in the center of the tree trunk. So this is how we can control our shape, and you see already it's looking much similar to our tree. So the purpose of choosing this reference image was just to show you how we can control the spawning behavior of the branches. And to match further, we can just use the skeleton edit node, and we can use the branch removal functionality, or we can also trim it. So we'll just do some branch removal and trimming using the skeleton edit node to further match or shape with the reference image. But as I mentioned earlier, that our purpose is not to exactly match the shapes. You see, we are already a fair bit of close. So this is a workflow that you can basically use to create any sort of trees. At this point, we can export our tree as Nanite Foliage tree, and yeah. So I'm going to show you how it works with the PCG graph here. So I've exported both the variations now, and I'm going to just replace this inside the PCG graph. So I have an already existing PCG graph. So I'm just going to replace these trees, the first one and the second one. So you see that the PCG graph now spawn these trees, and you see both of the variations in the graph. So there's one thing remaining, and that's the color of the foliage that we can tweak using the foliage actor. And we're just going to increase the season strength, and you see we're already matching pretty much close to the reference images. And this is how you create the foliage. And you can also see it's actually already set up for the wind, so we don't need to do anything special because we have the foliage actor already in there. So it's exported with the wind data, and there you go. We have our foliage ready, created through the new procedural vegetation editor, and we have done it from scratch. So that was the tutorial. I'll try to come up with few more tutorials around this and few other topics. Thank you.